Hi everyone, this video is titled Why Have I Not Tried These Before? I am completely and utterly miffed with myself that I have not had these products in my life a little bit sooner. I am late to the game, shall we say, with these, and they are all awesome, absolutely awesome. So we're gonna get straight on with it today. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week. I would absolutely love it if at some point in this video you are finding it helpful. Please consider coming and joining the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. So before I crack on, I need to thank Aurelia for part sponsoring this video today. I seriously appreciate it. They sent me some products in PR back in November, and I want to talk about 3 of those products in this video today because they have completely knocked my socks off. They are so beautiful. I am loving them. So if you've never heard of Aurelia before, they are a cruelty-free skincare brand that has a more natural, organic, yet sustainable approach to skincare, creating skincare products that are incredibly gentle and yet effective. And like I said, loving so many of their products at the moment. Let's jump into the first one. So this is the Aurelia Botanical Cream Deodorant, completely different to any natural deodorant that I've tried in the past. For the most part, this one actually works for me, and I can't say the same for all of the other natural deodorants that I've tried in the past that say they are going to stop any unnecessary, nasty smells, especially when I get on the Peloton and do a workout and just fail every single hurdle. This one I have not had any issues with, and it is beautiful. So this isn't just highly effective, it also smells beautiful, and it's got some lovely hydrating and nourishing ingredients in there like shea butter. It's got kaolin in there, which is highly absorbent but non-drying. It's got peppermint, eucalyptus, and tea tree in to add fragrance, which is stunning, but it's also there for their antibacterial qualities. It also has arrowroot in the mix for its antimicrobial qualities. It's just a lovely product. It did take some getting used to applying this with my fingertips because I'm used to a roll-on that does all the work for you and then you don't get messy fingers. But the effectiveness of this and the smell, it's enough to tip me over the edge to want to use this every single day of the week. Now, if you're like me and you don't like the smell of tea tree, I'm really not a fan. It takes me back to my adolescent years where I was smothering it all over my skin. I don't think this really does smell of tea tree. I get peppermint vibes from this and it is extremely pleasant. This also has a money-back guarantee. Aurelia are so confident that if you buy this, you are going to love it and it is going to work for you, that they've called it the 7-day challenge. If this doesn't work for you within the 7 days, there is a money-back guarantee. So, win-win. Next favourite is the Aurelia Cell Repair Night Oil. This had to feature in this video. It's the product that I just cannot get enough of. If you want to feel like you visited a spa on a daily basis, this is going to be the product for you. It has the most beautiful spa-like fragrance, and yet the ingredients in here are really gentle, pack a punch. I wake up in the morning and can see a difference in my skin. It is hydrated, it is plumper, and it has that natural youthful glow. I don't just apply this to the skin on my face either. I apply this down my neck, and I also apply this to my lips and then apply Vaseline over the top to lock in that hydration and nourishment, and my lips have never been as good. This is such a lovely product. It's not a heavy oil, it's a really lightweight oil, and yet it feels very, very nourishing on the skin, yet not suffocating. So the Cell Repair Night Oil includes oils that are rich in essential fatty acids, omegas, and antioxidants. So this is going to regenerate the epidermis, fight oxidative stress, it firms, it tones, it hydrates, and it smells beautiful to boot. So this has got neroli, rose, pomegranate in the mix. Now, obviously, not everybody is going to be able to use this. If you are really sensitive to fragrance, this isn't going to be for you, but I speak about this quite a lot on my channel. It is incredibly difficult to get the balance of essential oil fragrance right in a product. And I've seen it go wrong and smelt it go wrong and had reactions to it so many times in the past. This is bang on. This is not overwhelming in my opinion. And it's also not underwhelming either. It's just gorgeous and my skin loves it. Last but not least from Aurelia is my personal favourite product out of the entire range. This is the CBD Super Serum Plus Probiotics, and it has done wonders for calming my really angry skin. So this is packed full of Protida, which is Aurelia's signature ingredient made up of 3 different components. So it's got probiotics in there to target sensitivity, rosacea, blemishes and hormonal acne. It's got peptides in there to target fine lines and wrinkles. It promotes collagen production. It's also got Bifida in there, which targets blemishes, premature aging, and UV pigmentation. It also activates the skin's natural process to repair itself, restoring collagen, elastin, and healthy cells. This is such a good anti-inflammatory, and the fragrance is far more subtle. So if you are worried about the fragrance, but you have rosacea and want to give this one a go, I think you will be okay. It's incredibly calming on the skin. Smells a little bit marzipan-y, a little bit like crushed almonds. I think it's really, really pleasant, but very, very subtle. You hardly notice the scent at all with this one. Before I move on to the next product, Aurelia have been kind enough to give me a 25% discount code to share with you all. So if you do want to make a purchase, type in GEMMA25 into the discount code box and you'll get 25% off your purchase. Moving on to the next product that I cannot believe I waited so long to buy this and try this. It was recommended to me by one of the Pampered Wolf Pack members. I ordered it immediately. The postman delivered it. It hadn't even hit my mat. And like a whippet, I was to the door, ran upstairs to try this out, and I was not disappointed. These are beautiful. I mean, you all know that I am a blush girl anyway. Any sort of blush gets me extremely excited, apart from the ones that are just bad and they just irritate the living daylights out of me. This is not a bad one. This is stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. From Suku, these are the melting powder blushes. Of course, I ordered 2 shades. So you may remember that I recently tried a different Suku blush, which I also raved about because it was stunning. This is one of the pure colour blushes in the shade 132. I was drawn to the shade of this. I was just intrigued, had to buy it, had to try it on. Again, it didn't disappoint. I thought this was going to be slightly less pigmented than it was. I thought I'd have to build this up in sections. I didn't have to do that. It was perfectly pigmented and really beginner friendly. It's not overly pigmented, but it's pigmented enough and it's very, very easy to blend out. If you are after a really easy blush, something that is very beginner friendly, this would be my pick, because the melting blushes, which I'm going to show you now, are way punchier in the pigment department, and that might be quite overwhelming for a beginner. If you are a blush freak like me though, you are going to love these, and because of the mass pigmentation, you hardly need any, so these are going to last a long time. They are far softer, more like a powder cream, and they blend out and they melt into the skin. It does exactly what it says in the title. So I have 2 shades. I have the shade 02, which is just stunning, the perfect pinky shade. And then we've got 06, which is obviously my favorite. It's way more orangey in undertone, more coral. And I have that one on today because I just couldn't help myself. They are lovely, and I'm kicking myself for not picking these up sooner. Moving on to a little bit of Dior. I get butterflies every time I have a Dior product in front of me. These are no exception. These are the lip maximizers, and I have no idea where I've been. Why have I not tried these before? There used to be 9 shades. They've introduced another 22 shades into the range, so there are 31 shades to choose from in total, and I would buy every single one. There are 2 different intensities, so there's sheer and intense. intense to choose from. Depending on the shade you choose depends on the intensity. You don't get to pick and choose which shade is intense and which shade is sheer. So there's also 3 different finishes. So there's one that is shiny, one that is shimmer, which is glittery, and one which is holographic, which is like a 2-tone shimmer and very, very pretty. I've picked up 2 of the sheer ones, and it was just sheer luck that these were sheer rather than intense, because these are the shades that I automatically, just my eyes drew to these, and they are beautiful. I'm not gonna lie here, if you are one of those people where Dior doesn't give you backflips, it doesn't give you those butterflies, that enjoyment, that excitement, you're not missing out if you don't buy these. These are not a revolutionary product. They are beautiful, but are they better than the drugstore products that I have in my drawer? Absolutely not. In fact, some of the drugstore products are actually better than these because they last longer. These don't last on the lip for very long. They are very good at hydrating. They are very good at that plumping feeling, and they look beautiful for a short amount of time. So if you are like me and just want to try everything that Dior produces, you're going to want to get your hands on these, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed because they're lovely. If they're out of your price range, you're not missing anything. I promise you. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but it's the truth. It's definitely the truth. So I picked up a couple of shades of these, both with sheer intensity, so it's a really subtle wash of colour on the lips, really flattering. The 004 is on the left and has a shiny finish, and the 021 is on the right and has a beautiful shimmery finish, and it's the one that I have on my lips today, and I love it. It is so beautiful. If you think these are going to be right up your street, I definitely recommend you check out the Dior website, because there is such a beautiful array of nude shades, which is just a bit of me. And like I said at the beginning, I would pick up every single one of these shades if my budget would allow, but it doesn't. And would I actually do that? Probably not, because that would be a real waste. Although I really want to. These have a lovely flavour as well. They have a minty flavour. They remind me quite a lot of the Wayne Goss lip glosses and also the Hourglass lip glosses. That really beautiful caramelly mint flavour, like a Murray mint. It's very, very pleasant. It has a cooling tingliness on the surface of the lip, which again is really, really beautiful. I love them. I really do. I wish they lasted longer. I am forever reapplying these, which is why I don't think these are revolutionary. If these are out of your budget, you're not missing out. You really aren't. It's just a gloss at the end of the day. They're beautiful. They really are beautiful though. Moving on to a more budget-friendly option, I was thrilled to see Bourjois had re-entered Superdrug when I went in there the other day. This is the Rouge Velvet Ink, and for me this gives off Chanel vibes. This is creamy, this is smooth, this is such a lovely liquid lip. It feels like a high-end Nourishing liquid lip rather than a relatively inexpensive drugstore liquid lip. You would not know. It also has really beautiful packaging. I mean, who wouldn't want that in their makeup bag? So this is the Rouge Velvet Ink, and this one is in the shade 02 Bella Inco Nude. It's lovely. I had to write it down and read it because, I mean, they write things so small on the back of these. The applicator, it's a generic applicator. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it enables you to get a really precise line around the border of the lip. So if you don't want to apply a lip liner, you don't have to with this, although I do. It's just so lovely. It feels nice on the lips, and I thoroughly enjoy using it. So if you're wanting a liquid lip that feels really expensive, very, very high-end quality, very luxury, this is the one. It's just stunning. Moving on to the next product, which is actually a relatively new product, so I haven't waited around to buy this for ages. However, I did let this pass me by a little bit, And usually I jump on the new stuff relatively quickly, and I didn't do that with this, and I wish I had. This is from e.l.f. and it's the Sun Touchable Wow Glow SPF. Now this is an SPF. It's also quite nourishing on the skin. I always apply this over the top of moisturizer. I don't use this as my standalone moisturizer because my skin needs a little bit more, but this is also a lovely primer. It glows, but it has that expensive glow. It's not too shimmery, it's not too Tin Man-like. It's just very subtle, but chic. I cannot believe it. I said in my Drugstore Better Than High-End video the other day that e.l.f. is just doing wonders at the moment. They are killing it with their new releases. And this one is another one of those products. Now it's got a slight tint to it. You don't really recognize the tint and really notice it when it's on the skin, but it sinks into the skin really beautifully, completely effortlessly, which is what you want from an SPF. You don't want to be sitting with it on the surface of your skin forevermore, waiting for it to dry down before you can apply your makeup. And look at the lovely glistening of that. So the top hand has no product on, the bottom hand just has that glow to it without it being sparkly. I love it. I just think it is so flattering on my skin, and I would actually wear this without makeup over the top of it, so as a standalone SPF. The filters in here aren't next generation filters. There's nothing revolutionary for the UV filters in here, but it is broad spectrum, it's good quality filters, and you are getting SPF 30 if you apply enough to your skin. So the UV filters in here are avobenzone at 3%, which will give you your UVA protection. And then for UVB protection, you've got homosalate at 9%, octosalate at 5%, and octocrylene at 7%. You've also got glycerin, squalane, niacinamide, and panthenol and aloe for their soothing qualities. And it's alcohol-free, it's fragrance-free, and it's essential oil-free. So if that is really important to you, get your hands on this. It's a lovely product. And finally, we've reached the end. This is the last product in this video. And if you've reached this stage, if you stuck with it all the way through, I salute you. This has been a long one. I've tried to speak as quickly as I physically could, but you know when I love a product, I have a lot to say. Does it show? I think it does. Let's move on. This next product, I really cannot believe I haven't tried this sooner. This has been around for a long time, and I've tried everything else in this range but this one, and yet so many of you have said this is the best bronzer on the market for fair skin. And now I've tried it. I agree with you. I think it was the price point of this that put me off buying it in the first place, but now I've tried it. For me personally, this is worth every single penny. It's from Victoria Beckham and it's one of her bronzing bricks. This is in the shade 01, which is the fairest shade that she does. This is super versatile. This is creamy, this is smooth, this is really easy to blend. It looks really natural on the skin. It just melts into the skin. It doesn't look like bronzer. It just looks like skin. It is lovely. You can contour with this, you can bronze with this, you can use one shade or the other, or you can mix them together, which is how I like to do it. I also have this as my eye look today. This all over the lid, blended out with this at the edges to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. I just love it. Really beautiful. I can wear this when I have no other makeup on my skin whatsoever, and it's very difficult to find a bronzer that will actually melt into bare skin, and this one does that. So if I'm just popping out to run a few errands and I think I look like death warmed up and just want to give myself a little bit of something before I leave the house, a little bit of this, and it's amazing what a difference it makes to that just refreshed, a little bit sun-kissed look. I just look more healthy, more alive. It just does wonders for me, and the packaging is gorgeous. I mean, look at that. And it has one of those clasp openings that you just press it and it lifts up, which is brilliant for me and my clumsy fingers. I can never get into products, but this is a breeze. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me right until the very end. I really do appreciate it. You're all absolutely amazing. If you fancy checking out the Aurelia website, the link is in the description box. If you are going to make a purchase, don't forget to input the code GEMMA25 for 25% off your purchase. Also, please don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.